we are going to get this show on the road. So I have Julie Migliacci in the house helping me with this. She's hosting for me. She's awesome. She's one of my members of my weekly Profit Accelerator group. And this is what she does, usually at a much larger scale for big companies and big events and whatnot. But she's here to help me today. So we're going to work this thing out, and I am going to rock your socks off with ChatGPT for those of you that have never used it before. All right. Let's get this show going. Just move that slide forward. That'd be cool. All right. So, I know most of you folks, but just really quick, for those of you that don't know me, I figured I'd give you a real quick rundown. So I've owned several businesses, one with my mom, some with my wife, and failed at some, succeeded at others. I've learned a ton along the way. We successfully sold one of our businesses a couple years back. We are currently cruise planner franchise owners. We got that 2 months before COVID broke out, so that was some fun times. Since then, that business has exploded, but I've been doing exit planning and business coaching and whatnot, as several of you know that are here. So I have quite a track record of helping small businesses and growing and scaling our own. I'm a published author, and also I love my alum, Babson College in Wellesley. I got my MBA there in entrepreneurship. And I also most recently got my CEPA, my Certified Exit Planning Advisor certificate, which is pretty sweet. So enough about me. Just wanted you to know who you're talking to today. So really quick, logistics. So the recording and the handouts will be made available for attendees only. I'll ask you, if you have a question, raise your hand, right? Use the little hand raising tool. Stay until the end if you want the goods. So I have some really cool handouts that will help you take what you've learned today. I got these amazing prompt cheat sheets, and for those of you that don't know what that is, you're going to appreciate that, believe me. And it'll probably take 45 to 60 minutes, give or take. I won't go beyond 10 o'clock. And, might end a little earlier than that, but we'll take, I'm thinking like the last 15 minutes or whatever, we'll just play around with ChatGPT. If you guys have any additional questions or whatnot, we'll just take it and let it go from there. All right. So really quick, and just so you know, there's just going to be a few slides that are just about chat in and of itself, and then we'll get into the fun stuff, and actually I'll share my screen and we'll stop playing. But initially, for those of you that aren't aware, like, what the hell is this thing, ChatGPT? In fact, somebody on our recent BNI call had said that. They were like, I wasn't even sure what that was. So I'm like, oh, geez, I definitely got to help these folks out and put this presentation together. So what is it? It's basically just a computer program, and it uses AI to understand and respond to natural language. That's its own definition, by the way. I asked Chat to tell me how to define itself, and that's what it said. It was trained on a whole bunch of data from August of 2023. So for the free version, it's only current up to August 2023. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of folks think that it's up to the minute, up to the second information, and it isn't. So if you want up to the second, then you need to pay for it and enable your browser, and there's some other stuff in there. But anyway, so there you go. And I gave you the link there. That's not some affiliate link. That's just the link that's all over the internet. If you decide to go and grab ChatGPT, it's a real easy download. It's free. It's crazy easy. All right. So like, what's the big deal about this whole thing, right? Everybody's freaking out about it. And basically there's so much you can do with this tool. There's mostly people using it to improve their productivity. They're using it for marketing and emails and content creation. And good God, I mean, I'm in there every day. I know Barbie uses a lot for our travel business. It can do so much, but this is the bulk of what most folks are using it for these days. And I'm going to show you a ton of really cool examples that for those of you that are running businesses or having to deal with marketing day to day or what have you, it's really going to come in handy. I did want to mention one thing. Um, the the whole idea of AI has everybody up and they're all freaking out about we're going to lose jobs. There's morality issues there. There's all this other stuff around AI and chat and whatnot. We are not touching on that today. This is just about how to use this amazing tool. Okay, so if that's a concern of yours or whatnot, that isn't for this discussion. So just want to bring that up, get that the heck out of the way right away. All right, next. History of ChatGPT. I thought this was cool because I didn't know any of this. So it was started in 2015 by OpenAI. So that's the LLC that owns it, the company that owns it. And there's a whole list there of folks that were actually part of that launch, including everybody's favorite Elon Musk. So again, removing the political part of all this, but Elon, who also launched, well, was one of the co-founders of PayPal. He was a big part of this whole thing, as well as a bunch of other folks. I didn't know Peter Thiel was part of it too. That's crazy. But currently, the owners are OpenAI, the company. Sam Altman is the CEO. Microsoft is a major investor in ChatGPT. And originally, they started out as a nonprofit. But what they've done recently is they've transitioned to what they've called a capped profit, which means the owners can only take just so much profit and the rest of it will go be used for other things. But yeah, I didn't know that either as I was putting this together. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right. So today, really, there's so much that ChatGPT can do, and there's multiple levels. What I wanted to do is put a workshop together today for those of you that maybe haven't touched it at all, hadn't even heard of it other than maybe a little bit. And yeah, so folks that maybe have tapped into it a little, but realize that there's so much more. Let's see what the heck else I can learn. We're gonna have some fun. I've got some fun prompts for you guys. For those of you that haven't used this before, it's gonna blow your mind. It's just crazy. I mean, I continue to learn daily on this thing, and I've been at it for, I don't know, 7 or 8 months, and I'm always just fascinated at what this can do. So I'm going to show you what's possible. It will save you several hours a week if you are somebody that is doing these type of things day in, day out at your business. There's no doubt about it. Save you a ton of time. Oh, that's my little note about politics. Okay, moving on. So real quick, there is free version and paid version, like I mentioned. This is a quick little chart that Chat actually brought up for me. And it basically shows you the difference between the two. Some of the biggest differences between the free and the paid is with the free, you can't upload a file, so like a PDF. With the paid, of course you can, and I use that feature a ton. I'm going to show you both uses. This isn't just for the free version because honestly, that the paid, there's just so much more I can do. It would be a disgrace not to show that to you. Um, and with the free version, you also can't do web browsing. So like I mentioned, I can't take a URL and throw it into the free version and have it scan it, which is something I do all the time. So I'm going to show you that. That's incredibly sweet. And it's not current, like I mentioned earlier. So those are like the two big differences. It's $20 a month for the paid version. If it's a tool that you wind up using, then you certainly are going to want to pay for that if you find you use it often. I'm curious though, by a show of hands, how many people have used this thing? We got two, one, two, three. So not a heck of a lot of people, but That's great. So you're gonna love this. This is gonna be great. Good stuff. Okay, fantastic. Next. So what to use it for? There's so many uses, right? But at the end of the day, you could think about this could be a great tool to use for handling things that you just dread. Like, I don't know about you folks, but I'm not exactly a fan of writing a difficult email to somebody. That's one of the best times to use it. And some of my clients and myself have used it often for that. Uh, or what aren't you great at? Like, I am not a Shakespeare. I don't write particularly well. Um, so I use it often to rewrite anything just to make it sound better. And then I go back and tweak it. I don't just take it verbatim for the result that it gives me, but I use it often to just write when I'm trying to get a point across and I want to do it better. It's a great tool for that. Um, and things that you have to do over and over and over and over again, it's a great tool for that too, as you're going to see. All right. Okay, so we're going to start using this bad boy. It's all about the prompt. The single most important part of utilizing ChatGPT is the prompt that you feed it to tell it what it is you want. And I mean, literally the rest of this workshop, I'm going to be throwing prompts in here and showing you various things that this tool can do. So what's a prompt? It's basically the instruction or the question you give ChatGPT to get a response. The key is to make it well-crafted, very clear, and you're also going to ask it for a tone. And what happens through all this is AI will then give you what it is you're asking for. It's basically that whole garbage in, garbage out idea. The better you write the prompt, the better results you're going to get. So the more detail you give it, the better you're going to get. But it just kind of all depends on what you're trying to get to. So, for example, here's a really simple one. And what I'm going to do, you go back one screen now. I am going to. So the way this is going to work, guys, is Julie's helping me going back and forth between the slide deck and the ChatGPT. So what I need to do is just share that screen. Can you guys see the ChatGPT?
You sure
Yeah,
can.
cool. It worked, Julie. So here's a real simple one. What are some best practices for writing an effective ChatGPT prompt, right? So the beautiful thing about this tool is you can ask it how to use it better, which seems kind of crazy, but it's insane. I talk to this tool all the time and basically say to it, what didn't I do right? Like, what could I have done better? Help me clarify and whatnot. So if you throw this in there so that you understand more about the importance of prompts and what makes a great prompt, what you do is you throw it in this box right here and then you hit this arrow. And then it just goes to town. Doop, 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 and it just goes. And I'm not going to go through the details of the submission here. I'm here more to show you how it works. But like if you want to know how to write greater prompts, there's all sorts of courses out there, but you could just ask Chat itself how to do it. So what to say? It says be clear and specific, provide context for better accuracy, right? So an example here, a good prompt, write a social media post for a local plumber explaining why homeowners should check for leaks before winter. Keep it casual and engaging. So if you were to take this prompt, throw it down in here, it would give you a heck of a post. If you just put in there, write a post about plumbing, it's really not going to be that great of a result. Does that make sense? Really crazy important, right? So define the desired tone. We're going to have fun with tone in a minute. Request a specific format. Set the word count. So I've done that often. Like if I'm actually, for those of you in the wolf pack, you're going to see this later. I'll say to it, "Hey, I want I have 45 seconds to do my pitch. I find that that is about 120 words. Please give me a pitch on such and such topic. And it already knows me because I've been using it forever, and then it'll just spit it out. That's one way of using it, which is really pretty sweet. So you can tell it how many words um, to give you in a response to. Use role playing for more targeted. So, for example, act as a customer service rep or act. What I've done often is I've acted as one of my clients. Like act as a graphic designer to come up with a better way to respond to somebody who's being a really difficult client on da 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 da. So I use that whole idea of act as a often. So this just gives you an idea how incredibly important those prompts are. And what I wanted to do really quick, because I just realized I didn't show you guys this, is you might be like, what the heck is this thing on the left side? ChatGPT in and of itself, there's not a lot to it. You've got your left sidebar here, and you can close it with this. There's a little button up here on the left, right? So it goes off screen. But basically what these are here, and this is like a 2.0 course, the stuff here, what's in this. And if we have time, I'll show you one of these. But these are basically things that I've been running in ChatGPT, different custom tools that I've been using that are called custom GPTs. It's a little off topic, but still, that's what these are in here. These are things I've been using. And then these are all these different posts that I've been working on. Look at this, weekly BNI pitch guide. The hell is that thing? Fun icebreaker prompts for trades workshop. Oh, yeah. So anyway, so that's what this column is here. And this thing just goes because as you can see, look at this, 30 days worth. These are all different things I've been using it for. And way down on the bottom, I can't get to it though, because I've got so much stuff being used here. There's a settings button, and that's where when you start your using your account, you can go in there, click on the settings, and you can tell it about yourself and about your profession and what have you. And that's one of the very first things that you should do when you sign up, because what happens is your account will start to learn about you. It'll understand what you feed it, but over time it learns about you so that it can respond appropriately for your profession. Make sense? Without going down too many rabbit holes here or whatnot, does anybody have any initial questions? No? Okay, cool.
David, is the where you put in your like profile and how you want it to kind of learn like your voice and everything, is that only for the paid version?
You know, that's a great question. I actually reached out to my coach this morning to ask that exact question. I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure. If anybody on here happens to know that, because I know a few people here are really good at this thing. No?
John
Okay.
also has a question.
Yeah, John.
Yeah, David, so far what I've heard you talk about is primarily like marketing, email related. I'd love it if you could show us an example that would be something more like, writing an engineering proposal or, maybe even like, I'm curious, doing something like how to fix something, because I assume that's out there too.
As far as what?
Well, I guess let me start with my first example, because again, for us, the efficiency might be, for example, writing the report of what I found at Memorial High School the other day. Can it actually help me do that administrative task?
Yep. Oh, yeah. I use it all the time for things like that.
Cool.
But the key is to make sure to figure out exactly how to ask the question properly.
Mhm.
And then it'll give you a result. And if you don't like the result, like I've gotten into fights with ChatGPT often. I don't know if any of you have, but I'd be like, no, that's not what the hell I wanted. And it's not because of the tool, it's because I didn't ask it properly. It's actually kind of funny. I'm like, why am I fighting with AI? I mean, that just doesn't make any sense at all. But yeah. Did that answer your question, John?
I think so. So maybe to your point, just show us some more examples.
Yep, there's plenty here. All right, go back to the slide there. Cool. So that's a really simple one. So next up, what do we get? Yeah, let's have some fun. So act as if I own, right? So I mentioned that. Act as if I own a gutter installation business using Scooby-Doo's voice. Write an email to my customer reminding them that we're due to arrive at their house at 1 o'clock tomorrow and to make sure to have the yard cleared of lawn furniture. So what I'm going to do is throw this in here. We'll see what it does. I've already played with this. It's pretty damn funny. You gotta love it, right? Ruh-roh, got a crew arriving tomorrow at 1 p.m. Hopefully all you guys know who Scooby-Doo is. I know some youngins on here. But anyway, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but you can see how you've got some fun here, right? Like before we arrive, could you do us a big Scooby snack size favor and make sure the yard's clear of any lawn furniture, planters, etc.? You can really have fun with this thing. See you tomorrow, zoinks, you know? So it can really be a cool deal. I'm going to show you another one. Julie, no need to go to the screen. Check this one out. And by the way, you're going to get all of these prompts that I'm showing you. I've got them in a Word doc, so you'll get all those too, not just my cheat sheet prompts, but all of these here too. So you don't have to feel like you got to scrape the screen or anything like that. But here's one that some of us have used, my clients and I, for past due clients. I have a client that is 60 days past due on their payment for the new driveway we paid for them. Make it clear to the client that payment is due using the tone from Don Corleone of the mafia movie The Godfather. We actually have done this. So you gotta love it. The subject matter for the email comes out: a matter of respect. Payment due for your driveway. I'm not about to pretend I'm Marlon Brando, but I hope this message finds you well. I'm reaching out today, not as a businessman, but as a friend to remind you of the agreement we made. Let's see. Now, I'm a reasonable man. I understand that sometimes things slip through the cracks, but let me be clear. This is not the kind of business where agreements go ignored. It's a matter of respect, and I know you're the kind of person that understands that, et cetera, et cetera. So, anywho, you can have a lot of fun with this thing. Use all sorts of tones in there. I've thrown Elvis in there at times, which is pretty funny. Ozzy Osbourne. It's just, you can really have fun with this thing. So that's kind of the deal there. You gotta have some fun when you can, right? Look at how it ended it. Let's not make me send another email. Capiche? Gotta love it. Oh man. Okay. So I'm gonna stop the share. You can go to the deck if you would, my friend. Okay. So one of the very most popular uses of all this thing is to write your Facebook post, your any LinkedIn. I use it for LinkedIn constantly, and any of the social media posts, right? So one very simple way to use this for Facebook would be write a Facebook post about our new dry basement service, for example. That's very easy. I'm not going to bother showing you that. It's really straightforward. But what's really cool is you can do blog posts with this thing. And this is going to be a multi-step one. So I am going to show you how this thing works. Check this out. Just have to go grab it. All right. So what you do is the whole act as a Act as a blog writer from my fitness equipment sales and service business and provide me 5 topics for a blog post. Right?
Thank you, David.
You're welcome, Jonathan. So here we go. So here's 5 topics for a blog post. Home gym versus gym membership. Which one's right for you? How to maintain your fitness equipment for peak performance. The best fitness equipment for small spaces, et cetera, et cetera. And then it gives you a couple of bullets. But you're like, okay, what the hell? Like, that's not a blog post, right? That's just the topic. So now what do? Now you take it to the next level. What you do is you pick one of these. So just for the sake of argument, Jonathan, does one of those resonate with you, my friend?
Hold on. How about how to maintain your fitness equipment for a peak performance?
All right, number 2. So what you do then is you put in here, please provide an article outline for number 2, right? So you tell it of what it gave you. Please write me an article. How to maintain your fitness equipment for peak performance. And then what it's going to do is it's going to start breaking that out. That's just going to give you the outline, right?
David, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Is what you just did there, is that the actual prompt that you're talking about, or do you go up and like cut and paste everything in number 2 and put that in there?
All I did was just paste in, please provide an article outline for number 2.
Good to
So
go.
the please provide an outline for article outline for number 2, that's the prompt. So what it's doing, it's feeding off of whatever you did before it. So it took that number 2 and then it created this outline for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But then we're going to take it one step further, right? Because this is still just an outline, which is pretty cool. General fitness equipment maintenance tips, treadmill maintenance, elliptical and stationary bike maintenance. And it gives you a little more stuff. And then it'll even ask you a question. So yeah, I should have showed you guys this. It'll ask you a clarifying question, right? So you can just answer it right down here in the prompt box. You can also copy what it's given you. See this little copy button and just paste it to Word if you want to play with the output. You can also tell it whether you liked it or didn't like the response because it keeps learning from you. And I actually have never used these, so I guess it'll give you audio of it. That's pretty cool. I didn't even know because I haven't used that before. And you can also edit over here. The Canvas thing's a whole other thing. But anyway, so let's take this one step further. Let's see. So now what we're going to do is we're going to say, all right, great. This should say now. Now generate a first draft, including an introduction, body, and conclusion. Also, suggest some important keywords to help it show up higher in search results. There you go. So it gave you a bunch of search results, and there's your blog. And it'll just keep going. So you got to imagine people that support businesses writing copy and writing social media posts and stuff like that, they might be a little concerned because people could start using this to do all of that stuff. However, that's where it just is that much more important for these people to figure out how to show their value to the marketplace, because anybody can do this now, right? But for somebody that does this type of stuff for work for their clients and whatever, the idea is, all right, now that it's a little more of there's more competition out there. So figure out what it is about you that makes you unique. What do you do different? And don't just make it about price, because this is practically free. right? Those of you that know me know I'm screaming not to fight on price ever because it's a race to the bottom. Anyway, yeah. So that spit out a really pretty nice blog post there for Jonathan to go use if he wanted. Now, what I would suggest doing is not just copying, pasting, and posting. You should go into it, tweak it a little bit, make it your own. What I actually do is I'll take something like this and I'll throw it at my virtual assistant and I'll say, hey, take this, tweak it, and then go throw it on Facebook for me. So that's one way to save some time. But I don't ever just copy and paste. If you're doing it for yourself, that's fine. But if you're putting it out on the internet and whatnot, that's really not cool. But you can. It's up to you. All right, was that kind of cool? Yep. Let's see. Just looking at the time. And let's see. I've actually got quite a bit here, but let's do this one. Rather than go to the screen. How about this one's a little stronger.
John Barrett just asked a good question, David.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It just says, can it pull associated pictures related to the article?
Yeah. So yeah, great question. The paid version can. Please provide a few images that. Let's see. I don't even think I have to get all that regarding this article. See what happens. Why can you not give me images? That's interesting. I get pictures all the time from this thing. Let's try this.
David, are you actually in the 4.0 right now?
Maybe I'm not, dude. That might be why. I'm in my perfect prompt ChatGPT. What? That's interesting. Huh. How do I get over there?
I feel like the left is going to really confuse me. How do we
Yeah, it can. It certainly can. But to Brian's point, I'm not really sure. Oh, why the hell I'm not in the right one? That's all right. Maybe now I just lost what I was doing, but let's do this. There we go. Thank you, Brian.
Welcome, sir.
So it takes a second. So here's the thing. What you can these days, if you're just creating images, from ChatGPT, most people could tell it's an AI generated image these days. There's all sorts of tools to make really amazing images, but just using it here is pretty cool. It's funny. I've done all sorts of stuff where it needed to have wording in the background too, and it misspells all the time. It's incredible. It's really funny, and that's some of those times where I get really upset at it. Like, for the love of God, could you please just spell my name right or something like that? But it works pretty cool. How's that, Jonathan? Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is really bizarre. All right. Let's go back to the slide deck for a minute, Julie.
Can you find a picture of a drywall job?
Oh, sure. Actually, I've done that for you, Carla. I don't know if you remember that way back when. Provide me a picture of a.
And when you ask it for that pitch image, can you be very specific in the type of equipment that it actually pulls up?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it'll give you brand and whatnot, but it might. You can certainly play with that. Huh. Look at that. That came up really quick. So yeah, there you go, Carl. Like, if you want to create some marketing brochures or whatnot, and you could tell it to make it a woman, a female. I think actually when I was doing this for you, I even mentioned your nationality and everything and tried to get something as close to you as possible. I was playing with that quite a bit. way back.
Thank you. I was playing the same thing with
Yeah.
IA on my Instagram page because Instagram give you the option for that. And I created a person similar to me, you know, like Hispanic, but I had to type everything in details. I was like young Hispanic, female that works in construction with the yellow vest, you know, and it will give me the picture.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts what this thing can do. All right, so I'm going to stop share for a minute. Look at Julie on the ball.
I actually used chat to do all of the blog posts on our website.
That's so cool. Move forward, Julie. Thank you. Yeah, it's crazy what you could do. Let's see. So some examples, and due to time, I'm not going to go into all of these, but just to kind of show you. One thing I've used this for often, I don't know if any of you are using a device like Fathom, or even Zoom will do it too. When you're on calls with folks and you record them, you can get the transcript and you can grab, that's what the second bullet is basically, is you could grab that transcript, you can throw it into ChatGPT and you can say to it, I mean, a lot of these tools give you a summary anyway, but what you can say to it is, could you please summarize the top points of our conversation and come up with a couple of further questions that I should have asked? Like, tell me some things that I missed during this call. And that is a fantastic way at like figuring out what it is that you could have done better. For those of us that are coaches or what have you, there's so much you can do with that. Or you could summarize the notes for sure, because any of my team members know that, any of my clients know I do that for everybody. But yeah, you can use it to summarize everything. You can even use that to come up with Facebook posts. You could create a case study from that. Like, hey, take this conversation I have with my client. Obviously, don't use the company name or the person's name or whatever. But from this, create like a 1,000-word case study. And then boom, you throw it in there and it'll spit it out. It's just, I could go on, but there's those type of things you can use. Now, what is really pretty sweet is I could grab my book, my Hidden Profits book, and I'm going to do this because I want to show you. It's just a free book, but let's see if this is going to work. If it works. Yep. All right. So I'm going to share my screen. So what I did was I took my book, and you could do this with any book that you could get a PDF on, and they're all over the internet, right? You could get free PDFs of books left and right for those of you that aren't aware of that. Let's see. So I'm going to share that. Oops. Let's try that again. What screen are you guys seeing?
You're on sharing currently, but we were seeing your whole desktop earlier.
Got you. Back on ChatGPT.
There we go. We see it now.
There we go. Let me see what I want to tell it. Oh, yeah. So I'm just going to type, take my book and create 4 weeks of one post a week for Facebook, providing some top lessons for the graphic design world. Let's see what it gives me. How crazy is that? So you could go out, you could grab some other ways of doing this is you can, maybe you have a book in your industry and you want to train your team on it. You could grab that book, take the PDF, throw it in ChatGPT. Again, you need the paid version for this, and say, hey, I want to do a training on this book for my staff, my team, whatever, and boom, it'll just spit out for you. I've used this to create an entire course, an 8-week course based on the lessons in my book that I'm putting together. And you can use this tool to actually create the PDF slides for the PowerPoint slides like that. So you don't have to go sit there and create all these slides again. How's that? Kind of cool. So there's all your posts. So for people that say that they can't get around to posting and this and that, I don't know what to post. You could also go grab a website. Somebody give me their business website page. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. Good deal. Let me grab that. Oh, there you go. So you see my ChatGPT, right? Please
Yes.
review this website and give me 5 SEO improvements. Now these prompts are really short and sweet just for the sake of time. But you could take a website and like I've done here, it'll give you a list of things that website needs for improvement on. And in this case, I asked it for stuff regarding SEO. For those of you that don't know what that is, search engine optimization is basically it's what you need to improve on your website so that you get free search on Google. Simplest way to explain that. So Julie, here's some ideas here for you for your website to make it better for SEO. Boom, boom, boom. Enhance image alt text, create dedicated service pages, improve internal linking. So, each of you can go do that and you could do your own SEO audit of your website. Now,
Can you do that
whoever's
with a lower version, not 4.0?
I think you have to pay for it. I think it's the paid version for that. If anybody wants me to run something after this, send me an email and I'll be happy to do it for you if you don't have the paid version. Here's the thing. Whoever's managing your SEO and whatnot probably doesn't want you to know this tip. I think about it. Because you're going to run this and then be like, what the fuck? Reach out to them with this data. But, I think it's important for you to take some ownership in your website and your SEO and whatnot and hold whoever it is you're paying to manage this stuff accountable. So I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, hey, I was playing with ChatGPT and blah, 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 and they threw it in there and told me this. Do you have any thoughts on this? Nothing wrong at all for you to do that. Okay. So does that kind of blow your mind a little bit? Is that kind of sweet? I mean, the things that you could do there with your website is just crazy. I personally really like the idea of the SEO thing. And since there's a bunch of trades people on here, and I believe one of your most challenging, actually it's probably true for everybody, is to try and find employees. I created this prompt yesterday, preparing for this, an employee retention prompt. So I said, act as an employee retention expert with experience in the trades. One of my biggest challenges is keeping my best employees. Many skilled workers leave for competitors, start their own business, or burn out. Please provide a retention strategy that includes da 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 da. Let's see what that does. I got just under 15 minutes left, guys. So I actually have a lot more prompts to show you, but I think what we're going to do, I'm going to show you something, a really cool tool, and I'm going to open the floor. Thank you, Julie. So let's see, what's it say? Why trades people leave and how to prevent it. better pay elsewhere. So that's kind of cool. It tells you why, and then it gives you an idea of a solution. Limited career growth. Solution, provide a clear career path with skills training, leadership development, and certifications. Lack of recognition and respect. Solution, da-da-da. So there you go. For those of you that, oh geez, look at this. This thing just keeps going. Building a loyal and satisfied workforce. And I know like Nicole, who's on here, I know her boss is interviewing people today for their work, and that's why he couldn't be here. So that's why this was kind of top of mind for me. So look at that. So of course this means you got some work to do, right? But it could get the whole idea I use this for is just generating thoughts and new ideas and get me thinking, you know. All right, let's go to the slide deck really quick if we could. Okay, I'm going to show you this and then I'm going to open the floor. For those of you that have crazy busy schedules, one thing you can do is scrape your calendar. This is just nuts. Let's see what's the best way to show this to you. You can scrape your calendar and ask ChatGPT to give you ideas for improving your time. Let me share my screen. Let's see, can I show this to you guys? So there's my schedule next week. Oh, I got to hit the share button. Good job, Dave. Thank you, Barb. Now you see it, right? So there's my calendar, and I color code. So green is like.
We're seeing your Word document right now, David.
Freaking A.
Try again.
How's that? Damn it.
Perfect.
So I color code my calendar. Client work is in green, orange is networking, blue is stuff, yellow is some things I try and hold myself accountable to. Anyway, it's kind of a busy schedule, right? And I'm like, all right, there's got to be a better way. So I asked it, where is it? Oh. Here's my calendar. Please give me some ideas to improve my productivity. And it's thinking. Look at that. And I'm a productivity nut, so this is pretty funny. And swallow your ego, Dave. Block off deep work time. Batch similar tasks together. Reduce meeting overload. Audit your meetings. There's all sorts of good, juicy ideas here. So, okay. So what I wanted to do, let's see. Let's go back to the deck for a minute. So there's a few other ones. I'm not going to do these at this point, but there's one I created to destroy your competition. I think you guys will find this very interesting. Noel, I used this for you and Dickie, and it came out really sweet. They have an HVAC company. Next slide. I showed you that one. Next one. You can throw a video out there in the ChatGPT and ask it to summarize it for you and to give you the best bullet points and to give an action plan for implementing whatever you learned on the video. That's kind of cool. So that's in there. I showed you some of these other things. Next slide. Did that one. Okay, so what would be next? So what's next really is these things that are called custom GPTs, and I don't have enough time to go into that in any kind of detail. But what the heck is that? So that's basically changing the world as far as AI goes and whatnot. And there's all of these different. You can see over here. These are all these different custom GPTs they call them. Basically, where's my so what they are really is they think of them as apps that people have created. So you could go in and create your own custom GPT to tell it to do what it is you want it to do. So for example, and I wrote one of these myself the other day. It's stupid easy. So for this one here, it's called the Perfect Prompting Creator. This guy that I follow, who I'm going to share his link with in a minute, he has all these really cool like 3-day challenges teaching you more about ChatGPT. And this one was all about creating perfect prompts. So what it does is you tell it what you want, and it'll keep asking you questions based on whatever the overall custom GPT is there to do. Let me show you a better one. Oh, yeah, it'd probably help. I keep forgetting the damn share thing. Sorry, people. I haven't done a lot of this. Yeah. How's that? Yeah.
Perfect.
Yay. Yay me. Okay. So provide me with your goal or object for a prompt, and I'll create the perfect prompt for you. Anybody have something top of mind that you've been thinking of during this? Like if there was something you'd love to use chat for? Anybody have an idea? I could create a prompt for you.
Maybe you can create a goal based on how to have a better money management.
Okay, how about this? Help me develop quoting process for my drywall company. See if this works. So I can always share this with you after, Carla. That's kind of cool. Yeah, let's find another one in here. There's also an HR specialist custom GPT. Basically acts like your HR person. So you hit the start button, and what it'll do is it'll start asking you questions to get you to some final result. So these custom GPTs are really they're crazy. So who has a HR question? Somebody give me some. I know we only got 5 minutes left.
What can you do about employee attire in the workplace?
Cool. And there you go. So there are hundreds of thousands of these that are available, and a lot of them don't cost any money. You just go out and you find them. Okay. So as we wrap this up, I'm going to go to my second to last slide. Does anybody have question? Anything they want to throw in here really quick? Oh, all right. Am I sharing the slide deck, Julie?
Up for me if you want to stop your share.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's weird. Barbara sees it. That's interesting. John raised his hand.
Yeah, David, I just wanted to thank you. I know we're almost done. I really appreciate you doing this for all of us because I was definitely in that category that I had never used it. I tried downloading it on my iPhone last night and I was told that my iPhone's too old.
Yeah, mine is too.
Yeah, but really helpful. So thank you.
You're very welcome. So couple of things. Just if you want to keep learning, get it, and then just start playing around with it, right? It's not going to bite. Ask it very simple questions. You can also ask it, how should I ask you better, right? So you can ask it to help you. We, in our weekly Profit Accelerator group, every Wednesday, I put a new prompt in there. So if you ever want to check out our group, we meet Wednesdays, 8:30 to 9:45. We have a great time every week on Zoom. And I'm actually adding an AI component to it, even more than just the Facebook group that we're in. And if anybody's interested, I'm going to put a ChatGPT 102 class together, which is going to go much deeper into all of this. If anybody is interested in that, either reach out to me or type 102 in the chat, and I'll just follow up with you on that. That'll probably be in about 2 weeks. I will go much deeper, including showing you how to create a content calendar for the year. That's a fascinating custom GBT that I have. Really, really cool. And this gentleman that I follow at Whitebeard Strategies has these incredible courses. So this link right here would be, and I can send that to folks because I don't think it's copyable right there. But that link will bring you to all of his classes. They're like $147 and they're really in depth. And I've learned so much from that guy. Yeah, so you could certainly go to his website and check that out if you're interested in learning more. He's got probably, I don't know, 10 to 20 courses. They're a lot of fun and very well done. Any questions? Yeah, Brian, that's fine. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm also happy to jump in with people if they need support and stuff, along with David. Just if you have questions on things you're trying to do, I'm usually available on this as well. I just actually helped somebody with their resume from LinkedIn, uploaded their
crazy,
existing
right?
resume, and we totally redid a resume for them. Pretty cool.
How cool is that? How cool is that? Yeah, that's great. I appreciate that. Yeah.
This is Chris. I had my nephew was trying to prep for interviews, so he actually used ChatGPT to go through interviews, and you can get really, really specific on industry, potentially even region, potentially even the exact business that you're going to interview for, and it's a pretty neat tool that way.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's so crazy, That's fantastic. You were able to do that. So I wrote a letter the other day to 2 colleges because I'm dying to teach. I just want to teach business classes. And I actually used ChatGPT to help me take my resume, rewrite the letter, tweak it a bit, help me figure out. I also threw the website of the college in there too to kind of help steer the whole letter towards the college. It was just really sweet. It only took me a few minutes. It's great. So I know we're right at the end of it here. I'll hang on for another few minutes if anybody has anything, but I really appreciate you coming today. I really hope you enjoyed it and you learned something. And with any luck, it blew your mind a little bit. And now you're not going to be able to stop thinking about it. Thank you all very much. Take care.
Nice presentation, David.
Great,
hey, I got
great job, David.
Thanks, Keith. Thanks, everybody.
David, have you used, so this is all ChatGPT. I got monitors here and there. Have you tried any of the others? For example, Grok?
Yeah, it's funny you mention that. So Grok is that one's by X, right?
Yeah, aren't they all in the beginning?
Yeah, that's funny. I haven't used it yet. What I've heard is it's fantastic. Like Rod Gregoire, who you know in our group, he loves it. He uses it constantly. For me, what happened was I've been using that gentleman with Whitebeard Strategies for a while now, and most of his I don't know if he uses any of the other ones, but so I've kind of decided to go all in with that because otherwise I'll be trying them all.
Yeah.
But I know that Grok is supposed to be absolutely awesome.
One thing I will say is when you download Grok on your phone, and not to confuse, chat, I assume the prompts can be across the board, they're all going to
Sure.
work. But one thing I noticed is it's on your phone, it's the initial contact is verbal. In other words, you're not typing anything. You can, if you want it to role play, you're talking to it the whole time. You're not typing a thing. It has a mode called argumentative. If you want to, and it's pretty harsh actually, but if you want to discuss a point of view, yeah, it digs right in and it's ruthless. So if anybody's, if you want to prepare for some kind of meeting, I will say it's free. It's Grok, Grok. Was it Grok, something like
Yeah,
that?
I think so.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've actually used it for a little back. I'll be driving around, use it for a little back and forth, just maybe for a sales meeting or something. But yeah, I didn't know if you had tried it and what your opinion was.
Yeah, I've just heard it's great, and I almost was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. I'm like, good God, no, I just can't do that to myself. But there are so many tools out there, guys. Like I could spend hours here with you showing you stuff. There's a ton of AI tools. I mean, literally tens of thousands. And I have a sheet that has a couple of, maybe a dozen on there. I was thinking I'd include that in the packet too, just to create video, create really cool images. There's just so much, it's insane. So, yeah, great question though, Keith. Any other questions?
Yeah, is it possible to get a recording of this
Yes, ma'am.
meeting? Oh, that'd be awesome because I'm
For people that stuck around, I'm going
reviewing
to
it.
give that to them. Yeah,
Thank you. That's
you're very
awesome.
welcome.
This is a fabulous meeting. Really, really useful.
Good to see you, Susan. I'm glad.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much, David. It's awesome. So yeah, I'd love to have you do the SEO. Yeah.
I will do that after I get off the call. I'll send you an email. How's that?
No problem. Can you do me a favor and give me a quick call too, just so I can briefly kind of
Sure.
premise it? Thanks.
Yep.
Good to see everybody.
Yeah, good to see you, John. Then take care.
Look at Dickie Complete at an AI session. I love it.
He was the most excited of the group.
We're converting him.
Mr.
David,
Analog.
David, you did a great job, especially for somebody that has no idea. You kind of take the scariness out of it.
Oh, good.
And make it seem like any meatball can use it. And say that kiddingly, but
I'm a meatball right there with you, guy.
It sometimes is a little overwhelming, as I've known you for about 2 years now. I'm anti-Zoom, I'm anti all this sort of stuff, but I am realizing and adapting very, very quickly. So it's nice to have that support team helping out. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
David, next time, could we do a how to use your cell phone one for Dickie?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, see, and Dickie, I'm in the same shoes. I mean, my problem is I'll use something, but I don't get how to use it, and I get so frustrated that I stop using it. I give up before I even learn anything.
Yeah, I got it. I have it downloaded. The biggest takeaway from today is I'm going to spend that $20 and get the Chat Plus, and
It's worth it.
me and my team are going to start on Monday utilizing this because the amount of time I'm spending just in the minutia of the administrative stuff, never mind anything else. I'm just going to start with those weekly posts, some email ideas and whatnot, and then see how I can, turn that into more time for myself and less, sitting at a desk. I'm not even saying it the right way, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And wait till you start using it, because then you're going to try using it for other things and you'll be like, holy crap, I could do that too. And you just, before you know it, you're like, wow, it can really help. Excuse me. It can really help you. The whole copy paste thing. I mean, you can just copy an email, paste it in, and just, yeah.
I hear you. I would love to invite you all outside. It's only 68 degrees here right now, so you guys enjoy whatever's happening back there in New Hampshire or whatever it is.
Hmm.
And I'll be sending you all warm wishes this week.
I
Thanks.
cannot wait for Barb and I go on our next cruise so we can rub it in, Dickie.
Where are you, Dickie?
I flew down to Florida and visited my parents for a couple days, and then a group of New Hampshire guys are coming in for a week of golf.
Nice.
Nice. The group I played with?
Yes, a bunch of those guys. That is correct. Yes, sir.
Very cool. What part of Florida?
Champions Gate, right outside the Kissimmee area.
Awesome.
Kissimmee. That's where I used to work with the Houston Astros when they were there many
Nice.
moons ago.
Good stuff. All right,
Awesome.
we are going to get the show on the road. If anybody wants to follow up or, et cetera, feel free to reach out. I'll get everything sent out to everyone within, next hour or two. And if you have any follow-up questions, let me know.
Thank you,
Thanks
David.
again, David.
Nice presentation,
Appreciate
David.
This has
Thank
been
you.
awesome. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Take care, everybody.